Welcome. We're just waiting for one or two more people. This is the Fairies and Co-Creation Spirituality Zoom call. I'm so excited that you're here. We'll just give a couple more minutes and see who else shows up. Okay, I'm ready to begin. My name is Zing, and I am fascinated by fairies, by communicating with fairies, the fairy realm, which is that realm of vibration, of energy, which is the interactive part between the physical world and the spiritual world. It's the part that allows the spiritual world to be embodied in the physical and to be avatars, to act in it as if we are actually a physical being. We are spiritual beings that are inhabiting a physical body. And that makes it possible for us to have many capacities that are very interesting, like the capacity to be in a duality where we can think of really, really bad things and do them, or we could think of really, really good things and do them. So being energy beings that have a physical reality to react and respond and live in, we have interesting choices we can make to create our lives. We're the creators of our lives. All right, so having said that, that's what co-creation spirituality means. It means we're in an energy space where we have connection with all the energies of everything around us, and it's up to us
how that down a little bit. Thanks. Just a little.
To relate with those energies and how we interrelate with our own inner energies, body, mind, and spirit, while we are creating this story of making our lives happen, making our goals, achieving our goals, making our dreams happen. You will know from your own lives that there are many limitations and barriers that we have to get through, but there are also miracles that we can achieve. All right, so that's the topic that we're going to speak about, that we're going to share about, that we're going to meditate on. So first, I would like each of us to introduce ourselves and maybe say how you came to be on this call and what you know about fairies, or what your just briefly what your experience is, and then we'll see where we go from there. Okay. Cynthia, could you go first, please?
So hi, my name is Cynthia. I'm from Southern California on the coast, and Zing, you and I know each other from, wow, almost 13 years ago. We actually met up in Stockton. So we've been friends ever since. And in terms of fairies, I've always been fascinated by them, read stories about them prior to you sharing your beautiful book and your stories with them. I know that they exist on some level. I mean, I know they exist. I've never really seen them physically, but I always get, they're part of the elemental realms. And when I walk into nature, around nature, I just sense them just all over the place. So I'm here because I wanted to be here to know more about the fairies and how to co-create with them. So
cool. Welcome. Noor.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Noor. I currently live in Boston. I am an energy healer. I also channel dragons. And I was coming on Meetup to look for groups where I feel I can just connect and mingle with people. And I saw fairies. I also love fairies. I haven't connected to any fairy yet, but I have kind of sensed them. And I'm very, very interested.
Awesome. Welcome.
Thank you.
Jen.
Hi, everybody. My name's Jen Field. I live in Newark, Delaware. I just recently met Zing through a mutual friend and went to her house in Chesapeake City, Maryland for a little get together. But the story behind that is my friend Lynn, our mutual friend. I was telling her about this book that I just bought about fairies, not Zing's book. And Lynn said, oh my gosh, my friend just wrote a book about fairies. So my history with fairies, I would say, is even as a child, I more as a child, I would say, was able to not see them, but communicate with them. I was on a leprechaun hunt when I was young. I had a friend that she would go looking for leprechauns, and I would always, that kind of incorporated fairies and gnomes and elves. And we would always just try to run around a tree to try and catch them, but they're really fast. So I've never seen them either, but I feel like I recently again have been tapping into more like the elemental level and specifically fairies. And then that book fell in my lap. And then Lynn said Zing wrote a book about fairies. So just, it's all kind of like, when things come back into your life or different theme lines keep playing, that's what's going on with me. So nice to meet you all. Hi, Zing.
Welcome. Yes. And now, Margie, if you want to type in something to introduce yourself, that would be good. I've known Margie for years from California, and she's a very, here we go. Can everybody see the chat okay?
Yes. Wow. Wow.
Okay. So when we talk, about co-creation spirituality, I want to read from a book that I just got the other day about the Sidhe. The Sidhe are the Irish fairies, the Irish elves, and I recently heard about them from the Fairy Library in Washington State. So I got this book, and I want to read one of the paragraphs. The disaster that threatens your race is one of increasing blindness. I do not mean that your eyes will cease to function, only that you will be less and less able to see the truth that surrounds you. Every part of your world is divided, fragmented, filled with opposition against itself. Every fragment strives with another for something they cannot reach, harmony. Yet if your race learns to reach beyond these divisions, these opposites, you will find that there is a pattern of wholeness that is indivisible and allows no fragmentation. You know this in yourselves, even though you seldom own it. There is a deep reservoir of oneness beyond the divisive way you live. Seek that and you'll discover the deep harmony that exists in all creation. So the purpose of co-creation spirituality is to connect with, communicate with, commune with, and perhaps be guided by or influenced by the oneness of everything, the oneness where we're all connected, the oneness beyond the divisions that we can see so clearly in the world around us. All right. Now, would you say that that is a goal that you have? You'd like to go beyond division to achieve the oneness? What do you think of as a goal in your life? How have you tried to reach that in your life so far? What comes up for you when I ask that question? Cynthia.
I was just thinking about what I shared with you. This last few days, I did a Earth Mandala to another master class, and I haven't done one for a while. And we had to do it out in nature. And in that experience, and I still resonate with this, I still feel this, how much abundance, prosperity, wealth, whatever word you want to use, was all over with me. I mean, I was just in that space, and I felt I didn't want to leave. I had to be somewhere else, another commitment. But in that space, I just felt the experience of feeling fulfilled and fulfilled, expansive, connected. Yeah, it was just incredible. So yeah, I love that. Yes, I love that question. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Noor, how would you answer that?
There's so many ways to answer that, but what popped up is, for me, awareness is the deal, the key. So I mean, I've taken a lot of years to be aware of my trauma in the past, and through that, I know there was a larger awareness in me to help me discern duality and non-duality, and to learn, and still learning, how to work in duality through non-duality. So yeah, it's a daily practice, or sometimes it's more natural.
Love that. Thank you. Let me see. Okay. Oh, that's Jen disappearing. And someone else arriving? I'm not sure. All right. Yes, now we have Margie's answer to the question in the chat. Okay, great. Courtney, can you hear us? Hello, Courtney, are you there?
Oh,
Hello, welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't know how to turn my video on. Oh, start video. Oh my gosh, it's so blurry, my front camera. Sorry, I'm in the process of finishing up a cleaning for a job, but I'm here.
Well, what we talked about so far is that it's important to have a larger oneness that we in the duality can connect with to help us embody and live that oneness, live a higher vibration when we're embodied in a physical body.
Oh, I like that. I'm trying to find a place I can put you. Okay. I like that.
So just briefly, how is that a part of your life at the moment?
Like achieving a oneness, how do I do that in my life?
Yeah.
Great question. Like a oneness with others, or like can the oneness be like whatever it means to me?
Whatever it means to you, because we get in touch with that oneness in different ways. It's just about having like a oneness that is a higher vibration that guides us or influences us or helps us to cope with a world of duality.
Okay.
Confusing.
I would say spending time in nature and spending time like doing community things. Like, well, I haven't been able to like do much nature stuff lately because I've just been like in the process of a move and a million other things. But spending time in nature is really nice because you just get away, and like it's like all the stuff in society like falls away and doesn't matter. and also like doing stuff like in community, like potlucks and like different events, and that's always really nice because sometimes the world will make you feel like everybody's against each other when they're not. So
Okay. So there are 3 points that in co-creative spirituality are usually made. The
Okay.
one is that we are sovereign beings. We humans are sovereign beings. That
Yeah.
it's our will that when we connect with the invisible realms, it's not about being a servant to the invisible realm. It's not about the invisible realm being a servant to us. It's about each and all of us being sovereign in ourselves and then working as partners in the continuing evolution and development of all the realms, of all the dimensions, because all of us are on our way home, on our way back to oneness. We've chosen to lower our vibrations to where we are now, the physical realm. And when we're not in the physical realm, we are actually back in our higher vibration, our spiritual self. But while we're in the physical realm, it's like a game we're playing to see how much we can remember about who we really are, our real spiritual power, and how we can live that in a world of duality. Okay, so the first thing was about being sovereign. The second is that our challenge is to be aware of energy, of the different layers and realms of energy, because we come in kind of a blank, sort of a blank slate. We're socialized and programmed in a certain way, and then we become aware that we are our higher self, a spiritual being, and then we have to unlearn patterns and the scripts that were given to us as we were learning the culture. And now we start going inside to align more with the higher self that we are and live that from the inside out. Okay. Would you all agree with what I'm saying so far?
Yeah.
You're following?
yeah.
So in that process, we need to tend our energies. We have to be aware of how we affect others in the dualistic space and see how much we can reprogram ourselves to be living from our higher frequency rather than simply reacting to everybody else in the lower frequency. In other words, not getting caught up in the division that's out there, but living in a new way, living in a unified, harmonious way, even in a world that's very divisive. Okay, and the third part of that, yes, is about the sacredness of each one of us and being partners. So co-creation is something that we're partnering in. We're not alone. In our goals, in our dreams, we're not alone. All of creation actually wants us to achieve what we want to achieve. And we are here to be cheerleaders for the rest of creation in what it wants to achieve as well, so that we all end up in harmony and happiness and self-satisfaction. At least that's the concept. Okay. So now facing that, we look at our lives right now. So the practicality of today's Zoom call is we're going to do a 5-minute meditation where we connect with the invisible realms, whether we call it the fairies or the dragons or the gnomes or the she or whatever name we're calling, or the angels even. And we're going to offer our sovereignty as a partner. We know what we want. So in this 5-minute meditation, we're going to kind of open ourselves to the support of creation for what we want and just see what communication we get as to what we can do in the next week to move a step further forward toward the goals that we want to achieve and how we can help others achieve their goals. Okay, that will be the point of the 5-minute meditation. Before we start, I want to know, do you have any questions about the meditation or communication process? Do you want to be guided in it, or do you want me to just say, okay, ready, go, follow your own inclination? Anybody?
Just ready, go. Ready, go.
Because you're all connected with nature anyway. Okay. All right. So I suggest we do this now. And after the 5-minute meditation, I would like us to share with each other what that experience was like, because we each do things differently, and we learn from each other in sharing how we do what we do, and then what we hear as well. We all learn from each other. So, okay, so again, I'll say for the next 5 minutes, we're going to present your goals, open yourself to the invisible realm all around you, whatever you call it. Listen for that wisdom. And after, I'll tell you when 5 minutes is up, and then we'll share what we receive. Okay, go. Okay, 5 minutes is up. Say thank you to the invisible realms that have you've been communing with for the last 5 minutes. We are grateful. And now, if you would, I would appreciate the sharing, a brief sharing of your experience the past 5 minutes. Like, what was it like for you? What information did you receive about your next step for the coming week? Cynthia, would you go first?
You're going to ask that. They came immediately. They were already here with me immediately, and they showed me the picture of where I went to the park for the Earth Mandala that I did, and they were sharing. I'm not sure if it's talking, but just telepathy or just knowing, showing me that I have to go more into nature, and so that I have time this week to be able to do that. So I already shared with you today, but I'm going to the beach this afternoon, and I'm gonna look at it, and it's for my exercise and things like this, for my physicality, but to they want me to go more in there, more in the nature side, whether it's a park or a beach or whatever, every day. I'm gonna do this every day from this point forward, and to, as I think Nor said, using the word awareness, I like that awareness. Listening, being fully present with everything that I see in front of me, and being now in the moment that I'm there, releasing any thoughts, anything, if I'm thinking about something, I want to solve something, to let all that go and just be fully present with what's right there with me, and to stay in that space. And I feel this whole thing about this, they're telling me about fulfillment and contentment, allowing myself to be fulfilled up into the inside, not just outside, the inside, very deep. So that's it. It's for now.
Thank you. Courtney,
Mhm.
what was your experience?
So I had not that type of experience. Yeah, I don't like I don't see anything or hear anything or any like that when I meditate, but I kind of just sat down for the first time all day. So I just kind of heard and felt my body be like, you need to fucking chill and rest. I'm just really exhausted because I moved yesterday, and then I have to go right back to work today, and I'm just really tired, and that's what I got out of it.
Awesome. Totally awesome. Thank you. Nor.
Yeah.
Initially I felt some playfulness. I feel that that's kind of what fairies are as well.
Right.
And I had questions about certain about my business and how do I move forward. So I received some answers, and for me it tends to be clairaudience, and I would make sure the space I hold for that voice is in my heart or chest area. So I was able to receive guidance that way.
And did you get a next step for the coming week?
Um,
Or just to
it's not
continue doing what you're doing?
really, yeah, it's not really the coming week. It's more like the focus in my business.
Okay. Okay. The focus is, just to make sure I understand, is to hold that alignment, that high vibration.
Yeah, so I've been having some doubts and issues. So I needed some clarity around that and how to proceed and direct the focus in my business.
And you received that, or that's what you're working on this week?
I received the answers. The answers were share, express, be you, be clear with your message. And I've actually the past year I struggled with boundaries in my business, in which it felt there was a lot of giving and not much
Right.
receiving.
Ah,
So
we know
I
that.
learned the hard way
Right.
that I had to draw boundaries in my professional life too. It was easier on the personal life, but then when it came to professional, it was not that great.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and just to keep trusting.
Awesome. And we'll see in the chat, there's Margie's response. So I believe that we have like 4 minutes left before Zoom is going to kick me off because I use the free version. And so I would like each of us to show our support for each other by sprinkling fairy dust into each other's lives, in support for them meeting the goal that they've set for themselves for this week in the co-creation with the realm of energies all around us. Okay, so go ahead and shower your fairy dust of good intention for everybody else. I mean, and yourself, of course. Now we can, thank you so much. We can retain contact through the Fairy Garden Permaculture Facebook page. If you like, if you have any questions or want to continue discussions, we can put it on there, or through the meetups. And I'm wondering if you would like to meet here again next week, next Tuesday, same time, to report back, make this a weekly session where we do a 5-minute meditation and work with this co-creation spirituality thing. Would you like to come back again next Tuesday at the same time?
Yes.
Great. I will set it up. It'll be the same login. I believe it'll be the same login information as Zoom information as today. Okay, so I think we have 3 minutes left. Are there any questions or comments about what we've gone over today? Or about the process, or about anything? I want to know, what do dragons feel like, Nor? Because I haven't communicated with dragons.
Yeah, dragons, they might look opposite of what I experienced. They're very, very nurturing and supportive. They feel more stable, strong, but at the same time also very nurturing. And now that I say that, I can understand why I attract them too, because I'm kind of like that. I'm like sometimes a little tough love, and then sometimes there's the nurturing side of me. And I actually have a book. I have a book where sometimes I just like close my eyes and go to the page,
Yeah,
and then I'll
show
get
us.
this
What's the
dragon,
book?
for example.
Yeah, dragons. And the
The
author?
Little Book of Dragons by Christine Arena Fader.
Okay.
I'll type it
Sweet.
here. And so when I open the page, it's the exact thing that I need on that day. So I meditate
That's
with the
awesome.
dragon.
Wow.
Like an
It
oracle.
also, yeah, it also has a guided, like how to connect with the dragon. Like it will show you step by step what to do if that's needed. Yeah. So I really enjoy it.
Yay. Love that. Oh, I forgot to share my part. I felt a deep peacefulness connecting with the invisible realm, the fairy realm. And my goal for this week is to look at how I deal with encroaching fires. So like if I have my universe of peacefulness and there's a world out there and the fires get close to me and start irritating me and upsetting me, how do I deal with that? So that's the question I'm going to look at this week to become more clear on that. All right. I believe they're going to kick me off in 1 minute. So Let's all say namaste. Namaste means the fairy in me greets the fairy in you. Wishing you the best,
Namaste.
and I'll look forward to seeing you back here
Namaste.
next week. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Yay.
Love you guys. Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you. Bye.